San Diego PD just issued a memo banning AI from police report writing. I want to talk about what actually drove that decision and what agencies outside California should take from it. In March 2026, the San Diego Police Department issued an internal directive. The language was clear. The department does not authorize the use of any generative AI programs to author a police report. That's a hard prohibition. Not use with caution, not get approval first. Don't use it. Here's what drove it. California's Senate Bill 524 took effect January 1st of this year. It requires every law enforcement agency in the state to adopt formal policies on AI use in official reports. And it has teeth. Any AI-assisted report must be disclosed. Who used the AI, who edited the report, what footage was used. Agencies must maintain an audit trail and retain those reports for their full retention period. San Diego's response was to prohibit it rather than try to build a compliance system on a short notice. Given the timeline, that was a defensible call. There's also an operational reason this makes sense, and it goes beyond the legislation. Commentators in the law enforcement community have pointed to a specific risk with AI-generated reports. The finished document may include conclusions the officer didn't actually reach, and, more importantly, can't articulate under cross-examination. A report that sounds authoritative but isn't fully the officer's own thinking is a problem the moment a defense attorney sits across from that officer and starts asking questions. The report says one thing, the officer's actual recollection says something else. That gap is a serious courtroom vulnerability. So, will the ban work? It depends on what you mean by work. If the goal is stopping AI use entirely, probably not. Personnel who want to use these tools will do it on personal devices, and the agency won't know. We've covered that dynamic in earlier videos. But if the goal is establishing a defensible agency position under SB 524, yes, it does exactly that. San Diego can document they have prohibited it. They're in compliance with the law. What it doesn't do is define what's acceptable versus prohibited going forward with any real specificity. That's the next step, and California's law requires them to get there eventually. Here's the part I think matters most for agencies outside California. San Diego didn't decide to address this on their own. They were required to by state law. California gave agencies a deadline, and agencies responded. Other states are watching. Legislation modeled on SB 524 is being discussed in multiple jurisdictions. The agencies that start working through AI report writing proactively will be ahead of it. The ones that wait will be scrambling to build policy under a deadline while simultaneously managing everything else on their plate. Before that legislation comes to your state, there are 3 questions worth asking right now. First, are personnel using AI in report writing at your agency right now, officially or unofficially? Second, if an AI-assisted report was challenged in court today, what is the agency's position? Third, if your state passed a law like SB 524 tomorrow, would you be ready to comply? If any of those answers is no, or I don't know, that's where the work starts. San Diego had to respond to a law. You still have time to respond to the issue. WebBot IQ Public Safety helps command staff start that conversation before the deadline is someone else's legislation. The link is in the description.